Welcome to all the students in the third lecture from the unit 1, that is on production system and their types for the subject industrial management, the subject code of which is RAS 601, and the subject is meant for BTech 6th semester students from all the branches. In this presentation, I'll cover the topics including production system, the types of production system along with the factors that are affecting on to a production system, the objective or purpose of production system, and detailing of the production system. To start with the production system, first we'll see about the production and then production system. As you all know that production is the process of converting the raw material into finished good by using number of processes. These processes may be either primary or secondary. Primary processes are those in which through a single stage of processing raw material can be converted into finished good. Whereas when we talk about the secondary processing operations, then and secondary processing operations are those in which more than one stage of processing is involved and raw material can be converted by number of stages into a finished good. Here I've written the production is a process of satisfying the consumer's need, just because in the form of goods as well as services, the manufacturer or service provider tries to satisfy the consumer's need, and through the processes and conversion of raw material into finished goods. When we talk about production system, it's a formal system that is provided help in the form of arranging the resources so as to produce the desired effect in the form of products and services. And so we can define production system as an intentional act of producing something. And during the production of something or during production of goods, the number of resources are essentially required. And these resources are arranged by different personnel works in a different department. And so it's a system that is based on arranging the raw material, tools, equipments, machines, labor, and energy and other resources so as to carried out the production activity smoothly. It constitutes an efficient process for organized procedure for accomplishing the transformation of input elements to the useful output goods or services. Here you can see in this figure that the raw material is taken into consideration, and through a number of processes, manufacturing process, we can convert it into processed part by using machine, tools, power, labor, and other resources as per requirement. Next slide is about the factors which are affecting the production system. As I told you earlier, that number of resources like man, machine, material are required in order to process the goods. Whereas when we talk about the factors, several associated factors like the location of plant, layout, management, and the coordination at the end of management also matters a lot while producing the goods. So there are certain factors which affect the production system, and those factors are mentioned here as the types of production, like the firm is producing either low volume or medium type of volume or high volume production firm. Low volume means if the firm is producing products like ranging from 1 to 100, then we'll say that the product the production company is works on a very low volume production, means they either produce the customized product that are fulfill the need of an individual consumer, or they produce the uh, specific product meant for defense space research purposes. Next is the plant location and layout. Plant location also matters a lot while processing the goods. Like for example, the uh, the pharmaceutical companies or the companies who are working in the particular cosmetics and all products, then these for these companies, low temperature region are most suited. The reason because of that, the uh, chemical and its viscosity uh, matters a lot, and there are several other uh, working parameter working conditions as well as temperatures that are required to produce those things in uh, the cold weather conditions, or we can say the desired geographic conditions. And so we can say that plant location matters a lot. One more thing is taken into consideration. The manufacturer uh, wants to establish their plant over the place where transportation as well as other facilities, the raw material availability, labor availability is easily there. And so plant location matters a lot. Another thing is plant layout, that is the design of the machine design or the proper arrangement of machine or other infrastructure within the plant. Unless and until the plant will not be properly laid out, then the material handling cost as well as the processing cost will increase. And so it is at most required to select the proper type of plant layout while producing a good. Next, an important thing is management skill. Management, if not skilled properly, then they will not be able to perform or attain their task. And so for for producing the goods effectively and in an efficient manner, management skills matters a lot. Unless and until managers are not having a participative approach, then the workers cannot be work properly and they will not be motivated enough to do some work. And next and foremost important factor that affect the production system is the safety as well as maintenance, availability and facilitation of the such kind of services. Like if the plant is not maintained properly, then the working condition will be poor, and with the poor working condition, the workers productivity will go down. Similarly, if the working condition will not be safe and uh, safety concern will not be taken properly, then there may be a chances to occur the accidents in the plant itself. And so to ensure the proper production system, increase the productivity of worker, the proper safety measures as well as maintenance measures must be taken into consideration. Here one more thing, in order to maintain the machines as well as tool, a proper preventive maintenance schedule should be prepared by the production manager and production personnels so that the machine breakdown can be minimized. Next is the use of available capacity. If the plant will not be have adequate capacity or adequate planning, then also the production system may get fails. So the available capacity must be utilized at most and as per requirement. Another important factor that affect the production system is government facilities and government norms. Government norms as well as facilities should be like that. Those they must be friendly to the manufacturer's policy, working policy. Then only the manufacturer will be able to survive on a particular geographic or particular region. Next but not least, we'll discuss about an important topic, that is objective or purpose of production system. There are various objectives of a production system. The first and foremost objective of a production system is to provide the right, is to produce the right product at right time with the use of right resources and uh, in order to satisfy the needs of the customers. Second objective is to optimize the performance of production process through minimizing the entire cycle time that is taken to produce the goods, to minimize the unnecessary movement of workers within the work area, and also to minimize the movement of material within the plant. It will increase not only the cost of production, but also it will decrease the profit margins also. If the workers' movement will be more, then their productivity will obviously go down. Next point is related to the optimization, is to minimize the wastage produced during the processing of material. This wastage may be produced either due to the wrong production or due to the lack of training skill within the workers, those who are working on the shop floor. In order to enhance the training, in order to enhance the professionalism, the organization must provide, must maintain, must prepare a proper training schedule for those who are weak or untrained in their work. And another thing is the willingness, at the end of willingness of worker, they should be motivated properly so that they will be they can perform their maximum to the maximum extent. Next, an important objective of production system is to study the lacuna or loopholes in the existing method, if any, and by study, if found, then to remove all such stages within the method and redefine the process so that the efficiency of the process will increase, effectiveness of the process will increase. Another important point to increase the efficiency of the plant is to work on overall equipment efficiency. Management must work on to increase the overall equipment and efficiency of the plant. Now the question arises, what is overall equipment efficiency is? Overall equipment efficiency is nothing but the product of the efficiency, effectiveness, as well as availability of the qualitative goods within the plant. And all these things must be improved in order to maximize the turnover, or we can say maximize the efficiency of the plant. Then here it is mentioned the efficiency, effectiveness, as well as availability of the qualitative goods must be improved. This is the prime purpose of production system. Next, here in this slide, you can see that the flow chart is represented the production process. The production process may be subclassified as intermittent production process as well as continuous production process. While talking about intermittent production process, as the name suggests itself, this is the production system or production process in which the production takes place in small intervals. After small interval, the either the job or tool or material has to be changed, and so this particular production system is known as intermittent production system because there is a need to change the batches, lot, material after a particular time. These intermittent production system may be subclassified on the basis of volume of the volume in which the production firm is going to produce, as well as the specific requirement at the end of consumers. If the consumers specifically required a particular type of product, then such type of product will be produced through job type production system. And for the products, those who are produced in day-to-day consumption basis, consumption purposes, they are like FMCG goods or cosmetic products. They all are produced in a particular batches in small lots, since due to the constraint that they cannot be either properly prepared in a bulk or continuous fashion. Like when we talk about the medicines, in medicine we all know that different kind of salts are taken into consideration, and those salts are mixed in a particular proportion. In order to mix those salts, we have to take a particular batch, and so such type of production system in which the materials are taken into definite quantity and definite amount, then such type of production system are known as batch type production system. When we talk about continuous production system, as the name suggests itself, they are continuous in nature, like the production of petroleum, diesel oil, and petrol, kerosene from the crude oil. Or if we want to bifurcate the byproduct from a particular product, like during the processing of sugarcane, one can produce ethanol, one can produce sugar, one can produce the byproducts, number of byproducts. So these products can be produced by on continuous basis, like all chemical industries comes taken as an example for continuous production system. In detail, we'll see all type of production process in subsequent slides. Next, first is, as I told you earlier, job type production system. Job shop production systems are characterized by manufacturing one or few quantity as per the requirement of consumer, and so these particular products are known as tailor-made products, and they are designed and produced as per the specification of consumers within prefixed time and cost. They are characterized as they are high variety of products, whereas they produce in low volume. As I told you earlier, that job type production system, the consumers' need are of prime concern. As per the need of the consumer only, the product processing differentiated or produces, and so high variety of products can be produced through job shop production system. Another characteristic of job shop production system or job type production system is the use of general purpose machines and facilities. Since all the tools, all the parts or the product are of high variety, having high variety means they may be various kind of, so there are various types of tools that may be used to process those products, and so general purpose machines as well as facilities are used in order to process those goods. Next is Since the products are customized and fulfill the need of an individual, and so the worker or the professional who is going to produce must be having highly skilled, must be having adequate knowledge and skill in order to produce the goods without any defect. And this is the unique point related to all the among all the production system. And next is the large inventory of material, tools as well as parts are required just because to satisfy the need of an individual. Many a specific type of tool, a specific type of material may be used, and so large inventory is required. Next and last characteristic for job type production system is the detailed planning is essentially required for sequencing the requirement of each product and the capacity for each work center, and order must be taken on the priority basis. Here in this figure, it is given to you that job type production system is most suited where fixed position plant layout is used for processing the equipments related to defense, related to aviation sector, related to the locomotive engines, related to submarines, related to space ship. This type of layout, fixed position type layout, is used where all the accessories, tools, machines are taken in on a particular point of production, and there only processing as well as assembly operations takes place. The distinguished feature is of producing the low volume and high variety of product. The job shop comprises the unique technological requirement demands processing on machine in a certain sequence only. Where all, unlike all production system, job production system is having their own advantages as well as limitations. Job shop production system has an advantage of general purpose machines are used to produce the goods, and so any kind of special machine is not required. Next is operator will become more skilled and competent due to the job, due to the duties that he or she is going to perform. Next is full potential of operators can be utilized, and the opportunities are creative work are more and more. Innovative ideas are welcomed always. Whereas the limitation of this type of production system is high cost is associated with such systems just because they are prepared to meet the specific orders or specific requirements. Next and second limitation of job type production system is the high level of inventory are required to maintain, and production planning will be complicated usually for those such type of products. And large space is required also to produce the products like submarine, naval ship, etc. Next type of production system is batch type production system. As per the American Production and Inventory Control Society, APICS, the batch production system is the form of manufacturing in which the job passes through the functional department in lot or small batches, and every lot may have different routing, different processing needs and processing requirements. This particular type of production system is characterized by the manufacturing of limited number of goods. Those are produced at a regular interval and the stocks awaiting scales. The characteristic of this type of production system are that for such type of production system, the short production runs are taken into consideration since all the goods are produced within the small batches. The plant and machinery are used for such type of production system is quite flexible as compared to fixed type position layout, as compared to job shop production system. Next is the plant and machinery setup is used to production form of a particular item is considered in a particular batches, in small batches, and changes of setup is required for processing the next batch. If we want to produce the next batch, we have to change the setup as per requirement. Next characteristic is manufacturing lead time and cost are taken lower as compared to job order production. When we compare it with last method, the manufacturing lead time will be low. Next is, in this figure, we can see that in order to produce the product in a batches, process type layout is usually used. In this, you can see the different departments are shown, and in each and every department a similar kind of operation is taken place, where number of similar kind of machines are used to process the goods, and after processing from one cell, another cell is ready to procure to process the next processing operation. And so the batch production system are associated with advantages as well as limitations. And the advantages are better utilization of plant and machinery. It promotes functional specialization, and the cost per unit is lower as compared to the job shop production system. And lower investment is required in order to start the production activities, and flexibility is also maintained within the production process, whereas job satisfaction exists for each and every worker. And the limitations are the material handling becomes complex just because of irregular as well as longer flow of material. And production planning, in this case also production planning is quite complex, because in a processing of batch, the goods is to be processed through number of cells. Next is work in process inventory is higher as compared to the continuous production system, as well as the processing industries. High setup costs are required due to the frequent changes in the setup. Next is the mass production system. As the name suggests itself, in the mass production system, we have to manufacture the discrete parts or assembly them on the continuous basis, and so this particular system is known as mass production system. There are various characteristics of mass production system. As the name suggests itself, large volume of products are produced, whereas the product variety will obviously be done. But the basic advantage associated with this particular type of production system is the shorter cycle time. The products is produced in a very small fraction of time, and lower process inventory. There is no need to maintain any kind of process inventory in between, just because the production is taken on the mass level. Here the production lines are also perfectly balanced due to the mass production systems, because the goods are producing mass level or big level. Next is the flow of material, components and parts is continuous without any backtracking, and dedicated special purpose machines are used for the high production capacity and output rates. Another characteristic or feature of this particular type of production system is that control is quite easy as compared to the earlier intermittent production system, and material handling can be completely automatic if the plant is automated only. Here we can see that both cellular plant layout as well as process type layout are most suited for such kind of production system. And when we see about the advantages associated with the mass production system, they are as the higher rate of production with reduced cycle time, high capacity utilization due to the line balancing, skilled operators are required to process the goods, low process inventory is needed to maintain, and manufacturing cost is as low as compared to the other production system. But the number of limitations that may be associated with the mass production system is the breakdown of one machine will stop the entire production line, and line layout needs major changes with the production system and design. High investment is required on the production facilities in order to produce the goods in mass. The cycle time is determined by the slowest operation. Next, we'll see about the process type production system. Here, as the name suggests itself, it's a process type production system. In this particular type of production system, the process are taken into consideration. That is, that consists a series of operations, series of products are produced during the processing of good. This particular type of production system may be classified as analytical and systematic or synthetic process, in which analytical system is like that. Here an example is taken into consideration. The production is used in bulk processing, like for example raw crude oil can be processed, and due to processing, after processing, gas, petrol, kerosene, diesel oil may be produced. Next, in the synthetic process, the opposite of the analytic takes place. Like if we have different kind of material or salts, then we can produce either tablets, either syrup or soap, or like that products. Here, number of if we have number of acids, then by combining them we can produce the soap as per the requirement. Next is the assembly line. Assembly line, as the name suggests itself, production facilities are arranged as per the sequence in the production operation, from the first operation to the finished operation, in order to produce the goods and services. The characteristic of this type of production system is a dedicated plant and equipments are required with the high accuracy and precision. Material handling must be fully automated in order to run the assembly lines, and product process follow a predetermined sequence of operations, and for that the automatized robots as well as robotic hands may be used. Planning and scheduling is a routine action in the case of assembly line operations, and component material cannot be readily identified with the final product. Here you can see, in order to run the assembly line, product type layout is most suited, in which the product is processed continuously and it goes on each and every shop. Processing. The advantages as well as limitations associated with the assembly line production are, as the advantage is the production process is standardized and there is a sequence which is predetermined, and high rate of production process is there with the reduced cycle time. One can ensure the high capacity, the highly utilization of resources due to line balancing. Manpower, yes, of course, manpower is not as much as required as in case of mass production or batch production system. The persons with the limited skills may also be work on the production line, but the unit cost is also lower due to the high volume of production. But the limitations are that flexibility, there is lack of flexibility because the production volume is larger as compared to the variety of the good produced, and a very high investment is required in order to start the business. Whereas the product differentiation is also limited. As I told you earlier, the variety of the part will very low. And within this topic, we'll stop at here. In the next lecture, we'll discuss about the different type of ownership. This presentation, I've used number of books like Dr. Ravi Shankar, T.R. Banga. Thank you, students, for your kind